Transnational crimes are violations of law that involve more than one country in their planning, execution, or impact. These offenses are distinguished from other crimes in their multinational nature, which poses unique problems in understanding their causes, developing prevention strategies, and in mounting effective education procedures. As organized criminal networks span the globe, efforts to combat them must likewise cross borders, so as to ensure that organized crime networks do not simply divert their activities to countries or regions where weak operation means weak criminal justice responses. It must be noted that international cooperation against organized crime is used as a tool to strengthening sovereignty and security. On the Eagle today, we will focus on our EFCC collaboration with international organizations in fighting transnational crimes. My name is Aisha Mohammed. Stay with us on the Eagle for an interesting time out.
We are going to tackle financial crimes problems in Nigeria with a human face and a heart of lion.
The Executive Chairman of the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission EFCC, Ola Olukoyode, has called for enhanced local capacity to grow the oil and gas industry in Nigeria. He made this call in Abuja while receiving top executives of ExxonMobil that paid him a courtesy visit at the corporate headquarters of the EFCC. Abbas Abubakar Umar was there and now reports on this and another story.
The EFCC chairman, Ola Olukoyede, said the oil and gas industry is critical and germane to the developmental aspirations of Nigerians, and for this reason, local capacities should be developed to fully domesticate the industry. He said the oil industry is a major sector as its activities touches the lives of Nigerians. As such, it is important to look inwards, develop local capacities, transfer technology and maximize the sector. Olukoyede also called for increased transparency and accountability in the industry. In her remarks, the Vice Chairman and General Counsel, ExxonMobil Companies in Nigeria, Adesua Dozie, expressed delight with the appointment of Olukoyede as EFCC's chairman and assured the Commission of her company's support and collaboration. She said ExxonMobil is excited to be associated with the EFCC and assured the Commission of their continued support and collaboration. The Vice Chairman and General Counsel, ExxonMobil Companies in Nigeria, was accompanied on the visit by General Manager, Venture Relations, Balawudiri, and Manager, Business Relations, Hashim Saidu. The Executive Chairman of the EFCC, Ola Olukoyede, has called on Nigerians from all walks of life to improve on their attitudes and value systems in order to confront and conquer economic and financial crimes and other acts of corruption. Olukoyede made the call in Abuja while receiving officials of National Institute for Cultural Orientation, NICO, who paid him a courtesy visit. He decried the worsening moral standards in the country, pointing out that moral decadence was at the root of every corrupt practice. Olukoyede stressed the need to imbibe the culture and orientation that emphasizes on not taking what does not belong to you, as moral orientation will go a long way in helping Nigerians to shun corrupt practices. The EFCC's boss challenged NICO to do more in the area of cultural orientation for its impact to be felt in the society.
At your own level, let us take this orientation around. We need to synergize with the National Orientation Agency to see how we can, include the issue of cultural orientation into their curriculum. Put it there so that probably you set up a joint task force for us to work together. Anytime we have also our own campaign, we also do. Most people here from my public affairs department, there are people that will be ready to work with you. We don't mind giving you a desk here so that when we look at your curriculum, we look at your program, your campaigns, we can join you, we can put resources together and see how we can begin this campaign to reorientate people.
He reiterated his resolve to prioritize the corruption prevention mandate of the EFCC, stressing that it is cheaper to prevent a corrupt act than to fight it. Earlier in his address, NICO's Executive Secretary and Chief Executive Officer Otumba Abiodun Ajiboye stated that his visit was to seek EFCC's support and cooperation in the pursuit of his institute's mandate as Nigeria's foremost cultural training institute. He expressed confidence that the EFCC can leverage on the Nigerian cultural element to tackle corruption and financial crimes. He stated that there is no denying the fact that cultural appreciation can reduce the financial crime rate and corruption among Nigerians, as no culture in Nigeria encourages criminal behavior or greed.
In view of the above, the institutes of the firm believe that as a crime detection and prevention agency organization, the EFCC can leverage the advantage of the Nigerian cultural element to tackle corruption and financial crimes in Nigeria. If officers of the Commission can be grounded in the Nigerian culture for effective investigations and interrogations, it will enable them to discharge their duties more effectively.
Abbas Abubakar Omar reporting for the Eagle.
Yawa Alhaji, yanzu ka zagaya kaga motocin nan guda uku, kuma guda ukun kake so.
Guda uku nake so.
To sai maganan biya.
Yanzu biya da mu na zo da kuɗi na kashi don in biya ga wani ga Abbas.
Abbas ya dakata.
Saboda me?
Saboda akwai doka.
Wace doka ne wannan?
Sashen yaƙi da ayyukan magudi da mu'amala da kudaden haram wato SKUMU da ke karkashin hukumar EFCC. Ita ce ta ce duk mutum ɗaya in zai yi mu'amala na ciniki da wuce naira miliyan 5 sai a banki. In kamfani ne ta haramta mu kamfani ya gudanar da harkan da ta wuce miliyan 10 in dai maganan kashi ne sai dai a banki.
To da ban sani ba, amma yanzu da kai min bayani zan je banki in saka ma kuɗi in zo ɗauki motoci na.
Ba shi kenan yayi. Idan muka karya doka kuma za mu biya taron naira 250 cur akan kowane laifi. Bugu da ƙari a soke lasisin mu kwata-kwata. Idan dai kunne ya ji gangan jiki ya tsira. Wannan sako ne daga hukumar EFCC.
The Executive Chairman of the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission EFCC, Ola Olukoyede, has charged civil society organizations, CSOs, across the country to be more committed to the fight against corruption, describing them as critical stakeholders in the anti-graft war. He gave the charge in Lagos in an interactive meeting with the management and members of the Eagle Crime Awareness and Prevention Initiative ECAPI. Chinonso Alexander Eni has the details.
Ola Olukoyede, who spoke through the Lagos Zonal Commander of the EFCC, Michael Wetcast, emphasized the need for stronger collaboration with every stakeholder in the anti-graft campaigns to achieve greater involvement and success. He stated that all the zonal commands have been mandated to ensure collaboration with relevant stakeholders in the fight against corruption, and civil society organizations are critical partners in this regard. He used the opportunity to stress the important roles of CSOs in ensuring good governance in the country, particularly the need to be responsive, accountable, and more supportive of the anti-corruption initiatives. Responding, President ECAPI, Ambassador Samuel Eniola Adam, who led the delegation, stated that the war against corruption cannot be left to the EFCC alone. He said that Nigerians need to assist law enforcement agencies like the EFCC in the discharge of their duties by sharing relevant information and intelligence gathering. Eniola also used the opportunity of the meeting to express the resolve of ECAPI to support the EFCC in creating greater awareness and prevent corruption across the country. I am Chinonso Alexander Eni, reporting for the Eagle.
The Abuja Zonal Command of the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission EFCC has handed over to Kano State pensioners documents of properties and 324 houses recovered for them. The handing over of the houses, occasioned by a final forfeiture order granted by Justice I.E. Eko of the Federal High Court sitting in Abuja, was the result of successful investigations carried out by the Commission on over 4 billion naira pension trust fund contributed by the pensioners to own houses. This pension trust fund was fraudulently denied them by 2 successful administrations in Kano State. Amina Kawa tells us more on this.
The Commission had investigated a petition by concerned Kano State workers and pensioners of alleged misappropriation of pension funds in the state. Findings by the EFCC showed that the state government entered into a tripartite agreement with the Kano State Pension Trust Fund to build housing estates for an aggregated sum of 41 billion naira, out of which the Pension Trust Fund was to contribute 4 billion 100 million naira. However, the contribution of the pensioners was used to build the houses in 3 estates located in Sheikh Jafar Mahmud Adam Bandirawa City, Sheikh Nasiru Kabara Amana City, and Sheikh Khalifa Ishaq Rabi'u City, all in Kano State. 2 former governors of the state fraudulently discounted and sold the houses to their cronies and associates, leaving the pension trustees with low budget and uncompleted houses. The EFCC stepped in and, upon completion of investigation, filed for and acquired a final forfeiture order of the 324 properties to the Kano State Pension Fund trustees. While handing over the documents of the properties to the pensioners, the zonal commander of the Abuja command of the EFCC, Adeniyi Adebayo, assured that the EFCC will continue to do its best to rid the nation of fraudulent practices. Representatives of the Kano State Pension Board, Hassan Mohammed Aminu Kubra, Ahmed Bichi, and Salisu Yakuba Abakar, who received the documents on behalf of the workers and pensioners, expressed delight and joy with the EFCC for assisting them in recovering their houses. Speaking with the Abuja Zonal Commander on the issue, Adeniyi Adebayo has this to say regarding the recovery.
Sean is very happy about it, Kano State is very happy about it, and I believe Nigerians at large are very happy about it, because this is an investigation we carried out for a span of time, and we were able to achieve what we wanted by recovering about 324 properties worth about 4.1 billion for the pensioners in Kano. So it's a good one for the Commission and the country at large.
As for some of the representatives of the Kano State Pension Board, their joy knew no bounds as they appreciated the Commission.
Well, we are very, very, very grateful to the zonal command and the entire EFCC staff for trying to recover those houses. We can't express our gratitude, honestly speaking, to what had happened. We received tremendous support, because even when we were in the office, the staff received us warmly. We are very, very, very happy when we visited the office. They give us all the necessary support and cooperation. Be vigilant on our properties, and whenever there is any suspicious action, we should report it to the concerned organization like the EFCC or the ICPC, especially the EFCC. Honestly speaking, there is a great change. Unlike before, people are saying something that is not favorable to the staff of the EFCC, but I have discovered that that thing is a thing of the past. Not only the pension trust fund, but all other people are calling us and congratulating us. What the EFCC done, and they are saying we should, the entire pensioners are saying that we should express their gratitude to the EFCC for a well done job.
Amina Kawa reporting for the Eagle.
Wow! Congratulations to members of the Kano Pension Board, and well done, EFCC. This is encouraging and a strengthener to Nigerians' faith in the fight against economic and financial crimes as championed by the EFCC. Together, we can make Nigeria better again. Transnational organized crime is a growing threat to security of the international society and the stability of sovereign state. It breeds corruption and weakens emerging democracies and developing countries around the world. Transnational organized crime includes drug trafficking, money laundering, use of violence and extortion, acts of corruption, trafficking in women and children, illicit manufacturing of and trafficking in firearms, and the illegal trafficking and transportation of migrants. Transnational organized crime requires a coordinated transnational response which can be achieved only through collaboration. Let's go to the interview segment where Golden Onwura is with a guest discussing how EFCC collaborates with international organizations in fighting transnational crimes. Over to you, Golden Onwura.
Hello and welcome to the interview segment. My name is Golden Onwura. It is often said that no man is an island. That also goes for organizations and institutions. The Economic and Financial Crimes Commission, EFCC, despite its demonstrable achievements over the years, cannot be said to have done all that it ever did on its own. Indeed, as one of its 5 cardinal values, collaboration with other local and foreign sister law enforcement agencies, international bodies and organizations remain critical in its operations. Today we have CSE Daniel Nwaka of the Cybercrime section of the EFCC headquarters to talk on how EFCC collaborates with international organizations in fighting transnational crimes. Welcome to the program, CSE Nwaka.
Thank you for having me again.
What kind of crimes can be classified as transnational crimes?
Well, transnational crime is any crime that transcends any geographical border. Any crime that has a victim or a suspect in one country and it affects another country, then it can be called a transnational crime.
Seeing that collaboration is one of EFCC's objectives, how far has it achieved this with other international agencies and organizations in tackling this type of crime?
EFCC has had a wonderful experience with transnational collaborations with other agencies. We have the BKA, which is known as the Bundos Criminal Ant. We have with the FBI, we have with the US Secret Service, we have with the US Homeland Security, we have with the Royal Canadian Mounted Police, RCMP. We have with the SAPS, which is South African Police. We have with our brothers in Ghana, which is IOCO, and so many other countries. We have what we call mutual legal assistance. Most times, if they have a problem with anybody in Nigeria, formally, they write to us through the Ministry of Justice, and when it's handed down to the EFCC either investigates or picks up the suspect for extradition to their countries.
In cases involving foreigners, let's say maybe the victim is in Nigeria and the fraudster is abroad, what happens? What's the situation like?
If the person is a foreigner, for example, if the person resides in the United States of America, we go through the American embassy, we write to the American embassy telling them Mr. X has committed a crime against Miss A in Nigeria. The FBI will either, through their own Department of Justice, will ask us if we want them to prosecute the person in America or to send him back to Nigeria. Depending on the gravity of the crime, we can ask them to extradite the person back to Nigeria for the person to face Nigerian judgment, or we just tell them to do the investigation over there and deal with the matter and deal with the person over there.
Have there been cases where foreigners are jailed or prosecuted and jailed here in Nigeria?
Yes, we've had cases like that in the EFCC. We had some cases last year where some Chinese people were detained in Nigeria and convicted in Nigeria. We've had cases where Americans have been convicted in Nigeria and also some Italians too. But we have to understand that these cases have to be a crime in their own country and in Nigeria for us to be able to prosecute these crimes.
If funds are recovered, how do you restitute to the victim?
Yes, when there is a fund recovered in Nigeria against a foreign victim, we go through the Central Bank of Nigeria and it is restituted to the person abroad. And if in their own case, if the victim is in Nigeria and the suspect is abroad, they do the same case through the CBN.
Does EFCC operatives have costs to to travel abroad for investigation or arrests?
There is a current case which I'm not supposed to talk about in the media because it's an ongoing case where EFCC operatives go abroad to go and give testimonies. And when I was in Lagos about 5 years ago, there was a case where the victim was a Nigerian, but she was in a care home in the US. And because she couldn't travel down to Nigeria to make her statement or anything, we had to send operatives down to the US to get her statement.
So how do you think these collaborations could be improved? Because the biggest room, they say, is the room for improvement.
Yes.
So how do you think this collaboration can be improved for better results?
If you ask me, I think the mutual legal assistance process is a lengthy one because we have to write to our Ministry of Justice. The Ministry of Justice has to write to their own Ministry of Justice, and like I said, it's a lengthy process. We would like a way where we can just talk operative to operative or police to police or detective to detective without having to go through the whole lengthy formal process, because the process sometimes might take as much as 2 years before it gets to our table. So sometimes the victim abroad might feel that we are not doing anything about it, not knowing that we can't do anything about it because it's not been formally given to us.
All right. Thank you so much. But before you go, what are your last words or your advice to the people watching us or listening to us?
Well, my last words are safeguard your property, do not fall victims to any scammers, and if you're a scammer out there, EFCC will definitely catch up with you.
There's an African adage that says that knowledge is never complete because two heads are better than one. It is on this premise that EFCC was founded. There is the need for unity of ideas and constant partnership with relevant stakeholders in its operations. That's it on the interview segment. Back to Aisha for the rest of the program.
You heard what our guest said there. Safeguard your properties, don't fall for scammers, and for the scammers, stay away from crime. Be good and patriotic citizens.
Any rhymes here? Whoa, corruption must to decrease. This is a canker-worm disease. When our people go live in peace, when all this nyama go cease, I can look back when I
see. Now here at the work, and now here at the chop. Sometimes this my work, it is very tough, and things go just rough. But that one don't mean say I go put my hand inside bad things now. I know say if I put my mind to do this work well, I know say I go make am. I don't need put my hand inside bad things. I be mechanical, I dey hustle, and I dey legit.
Ni mai sai da kifi ne, ina jajircewa akan nema, ina sana'ata na gaskiya.
IBS stylist, Moazu, mu dey legit.
I'm selling phone accessory, I dey hustle and I dey legit.
I'm a sound engineer, I dey hustle and I dey legit.
I'm a tailor, I dey hustle and I dey legit.
I'm a barber, I dey hustle and I dey legit.
I'm a painter, I dey hustle, I dey legit.
I'm a fashion designer, I dey hustle and I dey legit.
Be proud of your hustle. Be legit. Say no to cybercrime.
This message is from the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission, EFCC.
And that's how we end today's episode of The Eagle. Until we come your way again, keep sending your messages, inquiries and suggestions to info@efcc.gov.ng. You can also call us on 0809 3322 644. Don't forget to use the EFCC mobile app, The Eagle Eye, to report any fraud you see happening around you. You download the app, you follow the steps and report fraud on the go. And you can also take pictures of corrupt practices and upload them. Also remember to join us every Wednesday evening at 6 p.m. on our web-based town hall meeting called EFCC Connect, where we answer your questions and note your observations of the anti-corruption fight in order to serve you better. And listen to EFCC Radio 97.3 FM, the voices against economic and financial crimes. I am Aisha Muhammad, leaving you with this parting words that says, never be afraid to raise your voice for honesty and truth and compassion against injustice, lying and greed. If people all over the world will do this, it will change the world and how people live in it. Let's stand for integrity. Let's do the right thing always. Goodbye. God bless Nigeria. Please do stay safe, be kind to yourself and to others around you, and do enjoy the rest of the week.